Hello and welcome to Intuitively Matt. I'm Matt. So I was scrolling through YouTube and I've been looking for more content creators that I can connect with, and I found Marlene. I will link her channel down below, but I found her channel and I just became enamored by her. So I just love the way she talks. It's very, if you're into ASMR, it's near relaxing and it's just calming, and it gets me into like a calm mood. And so I stumbled across her video, right? Hashtag Tarot Origin Story, a VR to Cartomancy Tarot. And I just took it upon the liberty to continue this tag on, to breathe some extra life into it, because I thought that questions were interesting and I thought you'd maybe like to hear where I'm coming from as a tarot reader, if I've read your cards before, or if you're new to the channel. So if you are, then thank you for watching. Go watch Marlena's version of this video. I will link it in the description box down below so you can check it out. But let's get into the questions for me. So, number one, what is your religious upbringing? Now, for me, it is interesting. I was raised with a Catholic background. I say with a Catholic background because I wasn't raised Catholic. I didn't do catechism. I didn't go to church. I was taught a few prayers. I was taught that we have a guardian angel, and I was taught that, you know, God's always with us and always is listening and always is paying attention. And you can talk to God at any moment, which I still believe in. I was raised in like a spiritual sense, or a spiritual view of Catholicism, if that makes sense. Familial wise, the religious background on my mom's side has more of a different side. It's been Catholic. It's also been like this mixture of like Mexican witchcraft. So that's my family's religious background. My mom really raised me with like hands free, let him find whatever he wants to find, and I'll be happy. She used to say, as long as he believes in something. So that's my religious background. And I identify now, I used to identify as a preteen, you know, finding Wicca. I used to identify as like I used to identify as agnostic. But I just don't find that that's as fitting for me now. I definitely consider myself more spiritual. Second question is, what is your first experience with tarot, and how did you get your first tarot deck? So my first experience with tarot is through my brother. He actually started reading cards when he was a teenager. He's read cards for me in the past from when I was younger, but my first, you know, strong memory that I can remember him reading my cards for is when I was 17, and I was getting ready for those of you who don't know, I do drag. I was getting ready an outfit, and he was on my bed reading cards for me for what to expect for this online TV show that I had run, for a bunch of drag queens to compete against each other. And I wanted to know what the cards said about me starting this new endeavor. So he read the cards for me, and I believe what came up was the Tower, the Star, and I believe like a few wand cards, which was very fitting. He's a great tarot reader. That's my first memory when it comes to tarot. That's my first like, okay, this is tarot. And I knew it could be predictive. I knew it could be reflective. And I just kind of got a sense of what the cards were through that. And my brother would reference the booklet, and he would go off his intuition, and he was accurate. I thought that was an amazing experience. And so when I got my first deck, we were in Five Below. They usually have this beginner tarot book or a tarot kit. And I saw a kit there saying tarot. I was like, hey, isn't that what you do, Andrew? And I was like, you know, I think I'm going to learn tarot. And so you know what? I picked it up, and I said, I'm going to buy it. And it was $5. It was a booklet, and it was a tarot deck. And so he was like, you know what, why don't I get it for you? Because it said that your first deck should be gifted to you. And so he bought it for me. Thank you, Andrew. And I let it sit on the shelf for about 2 to 3 years. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't touch it. It got water damage from me cleaning out the turtle tank. It got wrinkled. And for those of you who don't know what it looks like this. This is the tarot deck. And a lot of people, if you're familiar or if you know of the Five Below tarot deck, it's kind of controversial. Some people love it, some people hate it, but there are cards here with little interpretations at the bottom, and they're not like traditional interpretations. It'd be helpful if they were traditional interpretations, but they are like obviously slanted towards the author's point of view. That was my first tarot deck. Ever since then, I've just been collecting the decks that I love, and I should show you guys my collection sometime soon. It's not big, but let me know if you guys want to see my collection of tarot decks, or cards, I should say. So the third question is, how and when did tarot become a bigger part of your life / practice, and when and if did you stop being a skeptic? Now, it was a year ago when I started this channel, because a year ago I became obsessed with tarot. Like Marlene, if you're watching this, I became obsessed with tarot in the summer of 2021. And I just fell in love with it. I can't say I really had a practice because I fell out of spirituality as a younger teenager, like I want to say 11 to 13, 14. I'd have my own spiritual practices. I'd have, my own altar. And then mental illness kicked in, and I had bigger things on my plate besides spirituality. Spirituality came back into the picture last year, and I fell in love with tarot. As I said, I let my cards sit on the shelf for like 2 to 3 years, and I became obsessed. And so I used tarot nearly every day around that period of time. And did I stop being a skeptic? No. I think part of me is still a skeptic. Part of me, and I say this because I'm always constantly shocked at how accurate / predictive it can be sometimes. And it's certainly reflective. As I tell my therapist, what's wrong with looking at a card and coming up with meanings? There's just something that can be predictive about it. And I know I don't like to place the future on the cards, because the truth is you're in charge of your future. When people ask, will this happen? I ask them, will it happen? Because it's your choice, it's your decisions that are going to make that happen or not. I have to say, I never stopped being a skeptic, but now I have way more faith in it. I have way more belief in it. I have, I see it as a connection to talk with my angels, spirit guides, ancestors with no agenda of their own, and with the highest intention of myself in mind, myself and my client in mind. I love it, and an occasion Archangel Michael, so I love it. So yeah, I know that's a long answer, but that's that. Number 4, when did you start reading for clients and why? I started probably the second week of picking up those cards last summer. I knew that the only way for me to memorize the cards was to become in constant contact with them. And I figured the best way to learn anything is to just do it, mess up, and do it again. And so I started doing free readings on Reddit. And it was the smartest thing I could do. In fact, I think I want to make a video encapsulating how I learned to read tarot so fast, because for those of you who don't know, I now do tarot professionally, or I do it for money, after just a year of working with the cards. Ate, slept, and breathed the cards. So I've also done, I also made a rule for myself. I wouldn't start charging for readings or doing readings for others that I knew after I did 100 free readings. So I did that on Reddit. And I just I did my due diligence, I guess. Now, I'm not going to say after 100 readings you're going to be professional. There's no sense. I don't think you can be a master at the cards, in all honesty. You just have more and more experiences and more correlations and more situations that resonate with the cards. Because if you know the tarot, it's literally just a storyline and of the human experience. So there's just going to be so many associations that you make after so many years of doing it, and I expect to constantly grow while doing it. Let me get off my soapbox. Why did I start doing it? I knew tarot could be reflective, and I started reading tarot in the hopes of getting as close to my higher self as possible. And that's still my driving force, that's still my why. But I knew I wanted to read for others because I knew I could offer some clarity, some guidance, a different perspective. And if it's not coming from me, it's coming from the cards or their spirit guides. I just want to get the messages out that I get. And that's that. Whether it comes true or not has no importance to me. But I try my best to be as accurate as possible. Question number 5. What are some qualities from your background that make you a better reader, or make you a good reader, I should say? What do you bring to the table / what's your superpower? So my background, I knew about astrology to a light level, a light degree. I never got really into the houses. I just knew about the signs and the planetary alignments. I'm starting to learn numerology, and that definitely helps with tarot. That's a huge help with tarot. My background was more like in the witchcraft, Wicca / or I shouldn't say hoodoo practices. I should say like root work or that type of practice. That was my knowledge. That was what I learned through YouTube as best as I could and through other resources. And so that doesn't really correlate to tarot, but I noticed that tarot is way more, those things can be actionable too, but tarot was way more actionable, and it was more incorporative of our daily lives, and more, it basically, for me, it gave it to you straight up, and that's what I loved so much about the cards. What do I bring to the table? I like to say that I bring a different perspective. As a drag queen for the past 8 years, as a teenager, as a film student, I have all these different pools of experiences and resources that I've had in my short life that I think are reflective in the cards. And so I think my ability to reflect and my ability to look inward is my superpower, because I can say, you know what? I can see how you felt this way, or I can see how you got to this conclusion. I can't blame you for that. I can't judge you for that. And I think that's my superpower, is that there's just no judgment here. Whenever you book a reading with me or whenever we interact at an event, I feel like this is a safe space when they step into my reading area. And it is a safe space. There's nothing that's going to leave this area so that I've designated. So I just love that people feel that and people react to that. So that's what I'd have to say. And then the final question: when did you get into TarotTube, and what is your relationship with tarot and social media? So I got into TarotTube last year. I stopped making videos in November of 2021. I just started making videos again. So if you're a new subscriber or you're a new viewer, please consider subscribing. 70% of you guys are not subscribed. So I need that to be corrected. Thank you. So that's my relationship with TarotTube. I made a video, which I'm really proud of still to this day, of the songs that I associated to the major arcana. I will link that in the description box, and I'll put a card here probably at the beginning of the video. But I love that video. I think it's one of my most viewed videos, and I tagged Six of Swords Tarot, I tagged Intuitive IVM, and I tagged Mixtress Ray. It's been a while, so please forgive me. I love their channels. I still continue to watch them. And Six of Swords, Mixtress Ray, Intuitive IVM, if you're watching, I love you guys. So yeah, that's my relation to TarotTube. I hope to get more into it. I hope to be more of an active part of the community. And as far as social media, I do readings on Instagram, pick a card readings on Instagram, pick a card readings on TikTok. I'm starting to do YouTube Shorts, and that seems pretty promising. So I'm just trying to dip my fingers, see what works, see what doesn't. But I'm starting to do YouTube again because I've honestly always been a consumer of YouTube. I love long form content, as you can probably see by the length of this video. And short form content is something that I really need to learn to adjust to, because it's doable, but I like telling a story. I like the communication that comes with long form content versus TikToks are just kind of like, here's what I'm going to tell you. Oh my god, this card fell out. This is what you're going to get. It just doesn't work for me. And yeah, it's too fast paced in my opinion. So if you're still watching, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. This is the end of the video. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, please let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. I will link it in the description box at IntuitivelyMatt. If you have a video idea, please let me know. what you think what I should do. I mentioned a few video ideas in this video. Let me know if you think those are good ideas. And show me that you love the video by subscribing, liking, and commenting. That really does let me know what type of videos I should be making, and I really do appreciate your viewership. Oh, and finally, I forgot to tag. I want to tag, I don't know if you've done it already, Six of Swords. You don't have to do it, just some content for you to make. And I want to tag Totally KAYT, and I also want to tag KRISSIE Bentley. I'm not sure if you guys have done it. You don't feel obligated to do it. It's just some video ideas for you guys to make content. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.